皆さん、こんにちは。今回は、ザ・ランホーム・ウィズ・ジョエル・フレッチで行われた、サム・グッドマン選手のインタビューを翻訳しました。左にいるのがジョエル・ケイン氏、右にいるのがブライアン・フレッチャー氏で、どちらもオーストラリア出身の元プロラグビー選手です。彼らのチャンネルでは主にオーストラリアのラグビーを取り上げていますが、今回はサム・グッドマン選手へのインタビューが行われていました。やはり、彼が人生最大の大一番に挑むということで、多くの注目が集まっているのでしょう。それでは始めます。
The Ghost in the studio. The Ghost who's about to take on a big fight of his life. Sammy Goodman. Welcome to the Run Home with Joel and Fletch.
サミーとゴーストはグッドマン選手のニックネームです。
Thanks for having us here, brothers. Thank you.
Go on you, Sammy. Now, you're looking quite fit. Look, last time I saw you, you were a little bit, you're a bit porky.
Was he? Yeah, I was eating a bit more before last time, so I was enjoying myself, indulging a little bit after one of my fights. But I've been trimmed for a while. I've been following my nutrition plan diligently and just sticking to that. It's it's all been about the work lately.
Now, this is a big fight. Like obviously, quite the understatement saying it's the biggest fight of your life.
Who's he fighting, Brian?
He's fighting Inoue, but
Inoue,
AKA the Monster.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting anyone called the Monster.
But the Ghost is taking on the Monster.
The Ghost is the Monster. Tell us a little bit about this, like, because this bloke's legit, like undefeated, 29. Has he had like 26 knockouts?
Yeah, he's one of the superstars of boxing,
Yep.
and he's pound for pound. He's your 1, 2, or 3. So it really comes down to preference. You got Usyk, you got Inoue, and you got Terence Crawford. So
Yep.
out of those three, it's who you fancy.
And it's quite unusual. You're going to go over to Tokyo and fight Christmas Eve.
Yeah, they like doing a show like towards the end of the year. So last year was Boxing Day. This year Christmas Eve. So, man, I get to upset Christmas for them all.
Yeah, the Grinch.
Yeah.
You're not the Ghost, the Grinch.
Yeah,
That's what you need to call
Grinch
yourself. We're here with the Grinch, of course, Sammy Goodman. But
グリンチにはいくつかの意味がありますが、この場合は人の楽しみを台無しにする人という意味で使われています。
Naoya Inoue, and you mentioned those names. So one of only 3 male boxers in history, along with Crawford, who you mentioned, Usyk, and now, of course, Inoue. But you're about to be the Grinch and spoil the party. Tell us, please, Sammy Goodman, representing the great country, 196 countries in the world, from Australia, Sammy Slammin' the Ghost Goodman. Why are we going to beat this bloke?
Because I'm the best boxer in the division, plain and simple.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
the best
Sammy.
guy. So, look, I back my skills and I back what I can do. So, I don't think he's fought anyone like me. Yes, he's a great fighter, and I've got to be on my game to beat this guy. But people like building these guys up into superstars and thinking they're all this and that. Look, I back my skills, I back what I can do, and I'm going to go over there and beat him. He can be hurt, he can bleed, and look, I'm going to do a job on him.
Okay, so if you beat him, not if, when you beat him.
When.
What's the next step? So if that happens, you knock off Inoue. What would be the natural next progression? For those who don't follow boxing as closely as we do, what would be that next step?
I'll give him the rematch at Wynn Stadium down in Wollongong.
ウィンスタジアムは、オーストラリアのウロンゴンにある約23,000人を収容できるスタジアムです。
But I'm on his cash, he's on mine. So that's the plan.
The Ghost.
So I'm on the big papers, and he can take the
The Ghost
change.
with the most, Brian.
So
When did you have your first stink that wasn't a family member? We've all fought our brothers, or when was your first stink?
Oh, I was a rat bag of a kid.
But did you know you were pretty good at it?
I probably always thought I was better than what I was when I was growing up. Well, I wasn't a talented kid at it, or I just had a massive go. And once I started working with my coach who I've got now, like I realised there was a big gap, like skill gap that I had to close, and just I kept at it, kept consistent. Like I remember him telling me when I would have been about 12 or 13. He goes, every 6 months, someone who you're mates with, or you know that boxers, they're going to walk away from the sport.
Yeah.
And it was just like whether it's only for a break and then they come back and they find it hard to pick back up again, or they give it away every 6 months. And it was one of the most true things I've ever been told. And it always stuck with me not to have breaks, not to have time off training. And I've always kept in the gym, my whole life since then. And it's just staying that consistent, I think, has got me to where it has. I've seen so many people that growing up that I was fighting, and then they drift off, they try and come back, and by the time they come back, you're going through them.
So this bloke we're going to fight, this Inoue character, have you had to change a little bit the way you train in lieu of this bloke? Or, because you were saying, you had to pick up, you had to upskill a little bit. this camp that you're doing, is it just going to be focused on getting skills to fight this certain bloke, this Inoue? Or is every camp the same?
No, it's definitely not the same, but the workload, I'd say, everything that I'm doing now, it's just so... I'm just doing a lot more of what I was doing, but just doing it... I've always worked hard, always gave it all in my gym, but my workload has gone absolutely through the roof. I'm pushing myself to exhaustion each and every day. Like yesterday, I started the day at 5 a.m. I was still in the gym at 6:30, so at night. So it's long days. There was 4 sessions yesterday, and that's sort of like what a day looks like for me at the moment. It's just all about training and getting a bit of recovery in, then back in the gym the next day. So it's that's all my life is, and that's all that matters at the moment.
Yeah. Sammy, we have been talking about Inoue, but let's talk about you. 19 and duck egg. 19 and egg of the duck. WBO world number 1, IBF world number 1. In your 19 and duck egg, is there a fighter who most probably replicates Inoue that you can sort of think back to, or?
Not really, not probably my fights, but I could look at a bit of my sparring, and you get certain looks, or you face guys that are definitely, they carry a lot of power like he does, and stuff like that. But it's, to be honest, everyone's got their own style, their own way of going about things, and present different challenges. And this is no different. He's a very good fighter, yes, but there's looks we're getting through camp that are trying to emulate him. Obviously, he's one of the best in the world, so you're not getting a completely exact replica, but look, it's he won't be getting the exact same look off any guys he's sparring of me.
Do you think their camp, Inoue's camps, underestimated you, or was it mandatory that he has to fight you?
It was mandated that he had to fight me, but I think there's definitely people in his camp that they're already planning ahead. They're looking at his next move, and there's a lot of talk about that. So, but I don't really concern myself with any of that talk. As soon as I beat him, they're going to change all their plans. They're going to come over here.
How much video do you watch on him? Is there a lot going on? I've always wondered, because when you're playing footy, certain coaches will make you watch hours and hours of certain players, and sometimes it's their habits that you pick up on. But when you're watching a fight, what are you looking for him?
I think it's important to watch a bit, not go over it too much where it's messing with your head, but it's you and your team should sit down and you like to go through a few things that you think you can execute and a few things you can capitalise on, and then other things that maybe you got to be aware of, and things that they do well. So there's a bit of both from that side, but I don't try and get too into it. I don't watch him every night before I go to bed and think about that. I try and worry about myself and what I got to do to best prepare me for a fight.
What's one punch that's just going to drop him? What's your favourite punch to land?
I'd love a left hook on him.
Yeah.
Just ice him with a left hook would be beautiful.
Right in the Chevy Chase or on the ribs or something?
No, I'd want to chin him out cold in front of all the Japanese.
In Tokyo.
20,000.
Say sayonara to him as you stand in front of him like that.
100%. Drop the mouth guard on him.
So, Sammy, as Brian mentioned, it is Christmas Eve. The Grinch turns up, the ghost. Go out in the Grinchy outfit and just spoil the party.
I'm Santa Claus for me. I'm coming back with all the straps, so I get to be my own Santa. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be a bit different. We've got a heap of people coming over for Christmas and spending Christmas away. So that's pretty cool. That fills me with a lot of pride, and to take a good chunk of us over there over Christmas time. That's awesome.
Have you been to Japan?
Went over to watch one of his fights. We're only over there for about 4 or 5 days, and just to get a feel of what the fights sort of look like over there, and just purely scout him out.
Sammy, what's up for grabs? 4 belts?
4 belts.
Wow.
So we'll be having a few after we win these. Like we win these, I'll be feeling good. Don't worry about that.
And what weight do you have to come in at?
I'll have to come in at 122 pounds.
Which is in kilos?
55.3.
50. And what are you today?
About 63.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's what I'll get in the ring at.
Yeah.
Is he much the same?
I wouldn't have a clue.
No.
But he's come up from lighter division, so he's already unified at bantamweight and a few other divisions before that. So he's a smaller body again. But so that's where I think I'll be able to impose myself physically on him. Like everyone goes on about his punch power and that, but physical strength and punch power, they're two different things. And I really think I'm going to be able to impose myself on him.
Sammy, what song are you walking out to? Have you got one, or you change it?
Yeah, I've kept it the same. So all the carry on, all the chant, that comes from the same song. I've wanted to change it, but like it's just stuck now, so I can't really can't really flick it on. So it's our Seven Nation Army.
セブンネーションアーミーは、アメリカのロックバンド、ザ・ホワイト・ストライプスが2003年にリリースした楽曲で、彼らの代表曲の一つとして知られています。この曲はスポーツ界で非常に人気が高く、特にサッカーの試合で、応援のチャントとしてよく使われています。
Right.
So that's where all the chants started from. Started from a few of the boys on the drink when I was an amateur. So, and then since then it's just kicked off.
Joel and I played team sports our whole life, and going into a ring, I could only imagine. We used to spar, and I used to hate it. What is the feeling like? Are you excited?
I loved it,
Are you
Sammy.
nervous? What's the feeling like when you're just walking up those stairs about to jump into the ring for you?
I think it feels a lot more normal now for me. As a kid and starting out, it was definitely something that was way more daunting. And you're not thinking about any of the crowd or anything like that. It was just purely about the pressure on the result.
Right.
That was the thing I used to really struggle with as a kid. More
What, living up to the expectations of
just
others?
just the expectations I'll put on myself.
Okay.
So, and yeah, but as you get a bit more experience, then you keep at it longer. You just get more confidence in what you're doing, and you just back yourself. It's like another game of footy.
Yeah,
Brian, I can feel it. Like one thing my dad says, Sam, I'm not talented like you, but he says I can read people. I'm a reader.
he's a very good reader.
I'm a reader.
Very
If you
good
know a
reader.
reader, you're a reader. We're staring at a champion. We're staring at a champion here. 4-belt Goodman.
Undisputed.
Undisputed.
Let's
Do you
go.
like that?
100%. That's what
4-belt undisputed Goodman. We like that, don't we?
That's what I've dreamt of since I was a kid. So this is what I've been in it for. And look, I wouldn't do it if I didn't think I could, and I wouldn't have started the journey if I didn't think I could. I've been telling everyone since day dot, since I got in this, that I wouldn't need to work a real job. I'll be doing this. I'll be
Hey,
champion of the
4-belt.
world.
Look at this, right? So let's just have a look. Inoue, belts are going away. Our man 4-belt Goodman's coming to take them. Ta-da, Tatiana, Western Webb. Bye-bye.
4 belts in and away.
Now you've got a sleeve tattoo for our listeners that don't have the YouTube. You've got a sleeve on there. Will you get a tattoo when you